Okay, so I'm going to show you how to cut and prepare the fabric for the straps. So you need to iron your fabric and then make sure that you have enough length. So the length of this is about 68 centimeters. So if each strap is 68 centimeters, that should be long enough. And you need one for the neck, so you need 3 of them. So what you're going to do is measure out 3 10 centimeter width strips. So I've got 10, 20, 30. And then you can just, using a nice straight ruler, mark off your strips. It hasn't shown up there. Let me do that again. That's one. So that the length needs to be about almost 70 centimeters, slightly less if you need it to be, and the width needs to be 10 centimeters, because 10 centimeters will, when you fold it in half, will give you a wide enough strap. Okay? Right, I'm just going to cut those. Okay, so when you've cut your 3 straps, I've only cut 2, but the third one will be cut in the same way. Iron it again, and then you need to pin it right sides together so that you're ready for sewing. So this is my right side, this is my wrong side, so I'm going to put good sides together, right sides together, and then I'm going to pin, again leaving my pins sticking out towards the edge so that once I'm on the machine it is easy to pull them out without sewing over them. Okay, so I'm just going to pin along here, making sure I get these 2 sides lined up with each other, and I have left myself a turning of at least a centimetre, so I'm going to just sew, leaving a centimetre, maybe a little bit more, depending on how wide you want your strap, so you can think about that. So anywhere from about here will be good. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to sew 2 sides. This has got 3 sides, and I'm just going to sew 2 of them. So along here, and then along here. And then I'm going to show you what you have to do next to get the straps the right way round. Okay, so I've got my machine set up, and with white thread, same colour as my straps, near enough. And now I'm going to sew along 2 of the sides of this strap, a short side and the long side. Now I'm going to keep my seam allowance. You can use these marks to decide on your seam allowance. So I'm going to use this mark here for mine. And I can see that it's poking out by a couple of millimeters, so I can also use that to keep myself even. So I'm going to go I've made sure everything is set up correctly. I've got my stitch length as I want it. Mine's about just past 3. So a few stitches forwards, a few stitches back, and then off I go, taking the pins out before I get to them. So when I get to the first corner, I'm going to just put my needle down, lift the foot, and pivot, and then I'm ready to sew the long side. if you want to, you can mark your stitch line, but I've managed to keep mine quite straight just by using the guides on the machine. So when you get to the end, I'm not going to sew this one shut because I need this one open so I can turn it inside out. So I'm just going to go backwards a few stitches, forwards, backwards, and then that's fastened so that it won't come undone. Lift your needle up, lift your foot up, and then cut that off. So here we go, I've got my tube sewn inside out. Okay, so when you have sewn these two sides of your strap, you're going to just trim the corner off. I've done this one already, but you can see I'm just trimming the corner off so you don't have so much bulk here. And you can just trim a little bit if you've got any stray fabric or too much fabric. Trim it off. Be careful, do not trim over your sewing line or the whole thing will come undone. Right, then what you're going to do is just turn this inside out, like turning a sock inside out. So you push your thumb into it till you've got a bit of a dip. Then you can get the turning stick over here, and if you push that in, you can just turn it inside out on itself like this and take the stick out, and then you've got a beautiful strap. What you need to do then is just carefully turn these corners so it's neat, and you can press this seam open, and you do that to all three of your straps, and then you can attach them to the apron.